and markets.
Now we want to start with the Aussie dollar.
Yes, this is in the news, and not so much in the news now, although it's being spoken about, but it is going to be big news in the second half of the year, and it's going to rip.
Headline news?
AFR headline news.
It's going to rip. What do you mean by that?
So currencies are priced against each other, or
Yeah.
you can price the currency against a basket. But generally, if you're pricing the Aussie dollar, you're generally looking at it compared to the US dollar. And generally, it trades in a range of between 60 and 70 cents.
Mm-hmm.
One Aussie dollar buys that amount of US cents. And the Aussie dollar's been pretty weak. It's been at the lower end of that band in the low 60s. The reason for that is the US raised rates more aggressively, and it meant investors could get a better rate of return over in the US than in Australia. So people got out of Australia, got into the US. But it looks like the US and Europe are going to cut interest rates. They've both got their respective measures of inflation back into the twos.
Full credit.
There's a US election coming up, and some may argue that there's a political incentive to cut in the next few months as well. Whereas Australia, we do not have inflation under control. The latest inflation reading was 4.1% for the 12 months. And so it's looking more and more likely that we are going to have an interest rate rise. Currencies are often driven by interest rate differentials. So it seems likely that the Aussie dollar is going to rise relative to the US.
I think it hit its lowest point versus the US dollar when I was in Europe, which was
That's annoying for you.
very annoying. Very annoying. So it's currently buying about 67 US cents, which is the highest level since January. And expectations, currency traders, those in the know, think that it could hit about 70 cents, so the top end of that average band, somewhere towards the second half of, this year.
Yeah. Now, we don't normally talk about currencies here, and the reason is it's normally not too important for our investing process. But there's going to be more headlines about it in the second half of the year. It's going to be front of mind. People are going to be asking, what should we do about it? So we thought we'd jump out ahead of it. So let's talk about who it's good for, who it's bad for, how you should think about the Aussie dollar being stronger, and then talk about how we're going to manage our investments on the back of it. So, who it's good for? Australian consumers, to start with. We're a nation that don't manufacture a lot ourselves anymore. We import most of what we consume, except for food. So, if we're buying stuff, chances are it's from overseas, and chances are our dollars can buy more of it.
Love that.
That's good.
That is great.
Honestly, kind of deflationary as well.
True.
Yeah.
On the flip side, though, it's bad for Aussie exporters. So for those businesses that are selling their goods and services to countries overseas, it becomes more expensive for their customers to actually buy their products. So not good news not great news if you're an Aussie exporter.
Yeah.
So a lot of our agriculture,
Yeah.
mining,
Yeah.
do you want me to keep listing?
Yeah,
Exporting, tourism,
Yeah.
education.
Wine, that's agriculture, I guess. Education, yeah, that's a good one.
Anyway, the list goes on.
Another one that it's good for before we get to the investing side of it, Aussie travellers.
Yes.
If you are thinking of planning a trip towards the end of the year, you might find it doesn't cost you as much in Aussie dollars.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yes. Yeah.
And then also bad for those with investments overseas. So if we're investing on the US stock markets, if we're selling those and bringing it back into Aussie dollars, not great.
Yeah, you started with the bad news, but it is also good news. It's good for people who want to buy more. Like if you want to buy an American stock, the same amount of Aussie dollars can buy more of that company because the currency is stronger.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's some of the, I guess, like the economics 101 effects of the Aussie dollar ripping. The final question is, how are we going to manage it?
Yeah. So for me personally, it makes absolutely no difference to my investing strategy. I am going traveling.
Where are you going?
Bali.
Yeah, okay.
barley. So that would be helpful, I guess.
Can we please clip Bryce saying barley that way and put it on socials?
It's because I messaged my wife the other day, and for some reason it auto-corrected to BALE.
Oh,
And
Bale.
so, yeah, so my wife thought I was being like bougie, being like Bale. Anyway, it change what I'm doing from an investing point of view. Obviously, I buy stocks overseas, so I will be, I guess, reap the rewards and the benefits, but it won't change. It won't change my strategy at all.
For me, if it gets crazy, like if it's like above 70 US cents, if it's like 75 US cents, then it makes sense, I think, to like deviate from your strategy and put more into the US, like be opportunistic then, because you should get a currency free kick as the Aussie dollar trades back into the historical band. But yeah, I'm the same. Not really going to change my investment strategy much, but if I was going to be traveling soon, I would be loading up the Wise account as the currency got stronger with whatever foreign currency I was going to be using.
Nice. Well, we still need it actually to happen for it to really start ripping. Like we need rates to go up.
I think the news story is it has started happening.
In expectation.
We're at 67 US cents. That's the highest level since January. Like the uptick has started.
Yeah. But for it to hit 75 or something like.
It's actually 75 isn't actually that crazy. Last time it hit it was March 2022. We last hit parity in 2011.
Yeah, when I was at uni.
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah. So that's
good.
when one Aussie dollar bought one US dollar.
Yeah.
And if we had loaded up on the big tech stocks then,
Oof.
oof.
I think I went to the States instead, which was really helpful.
Yeah. Well, in 2002 we hit 50 cents as well. So that would have hurt. That would be seriously inflationary as well. Another conversation. Let's leave it there.
Let's wrap it there.
Equity Line.
I will say this about investing. Everything you do learn is cumulative. What I learned at 20 is useful.